Split this past weekend against Bemidji. What do you like from that series, and what do you maybe want to see some improvement on?
Yeah, well, I like the fact that we're still in the hunt for home ice. No one really gained any ground. We're in the same position this week that we were in last week, and so I'm happy about that. Happy about the win on Friday night. On Saturday, my concern, obviously, it looked like we had no gas in our tank. It looked like we were, kind of, I don't know, just emotionally had run the gamut, and we when we fell behind, we just had no pushback and no drive, and it's somewhat understandable given the nature of the three previous games. The one goal win on Friday night, very emotional at Bowling Green. The overtime win at Bowling Green on Saturday, and then the last minute win against Bemidji on Friday. And I just didn't think we had our best stuff.
After playing 5 weekends in a row, first semester, you guys or first half of the season, you guys kind of took some time off, played games, couldn't get in a rhythm. Do you feel like you're in a better rhythm now that you played 5 weekends in a row?
Yeah, I do. You're never going to have a perfect schedule, but a perfect schedule or a much better schedule this year, and it was no one's fault. It was just the way things fell. But a much better schedule for us would have been if we could have taken one of those 3 off weekends in the first half and moved it to maybe this weekend. I think there's a lot of teams in the conference that have one of the last 3 weekends off, and that gives you a chance to refill your emotional tank as well as give some of these nagging injuries a chance to heal. And part of our issue with that was the GLI that we didn't realize we were in till late, and I'm so glad we got in. It was wonderful. But it forced us to tinker with our schedule, and we lost what we initially had as a weekend off in the second half. And I think if we could have moved that around a little bit, we could have kept more rhythm going in the first half, and then given us the break we needed in the second half. But you play the schedule you have. I think we're in a good position now going in this weekend versus Northern, and hopefully we gave the guys a couple days off here Sunday and Monday, and to give them a chance to recharge the batteries.
You got to go on the road to Northern this weekend. They haven't been playing the best hockey as of late, but they're a team that can get it going pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't know that. It's so funny. I've watched some video on them, and I think they're playing pretty well. The results aren't there, and it's one thing when you watch a team and you say, oh, well, they're floundering, and you watch and they don't have organization to their game or what have you. But I watch them. I'm like, no, they compete hard. They've got great organization. Grant Patolny and his staff have done an outstanding job with them. So there's not a lot that separates the teams in our conference. Sometimes it just comes down to a little bit of puck luck too, and how well the opponent you're playing is playing at the time you meet them. Are they on top of their game? How are they with injuries? So there's so many things that goes into it, but as I said, I watched the video on Northern. I like their team.
You talked about not having the jump. You said Bemidji had the jump on Saturday's game. Is there any preventative measures they're taking, or is that just something that kind of has to go away with time?
Preventative measures we're taking, or Bemidji was taking.
That you're taking.
That
so
our
you
team's
have
taking.
The jump.
Well, yeah, just trying to give them extra time off. Because they are, we got a guy with a broken finger, a guy with dislocated shoulder, we got an elbow injury, we got a guy with a bum knee. I mean, none of them enough to quite keep them out of action, maybe a little bit, but there's a lot of nagging injuries right now, and it's going to be true for all teams. It is at this juncture. We do get one player back. Farthing was out last weekend. He wasn't a coach's scratch. He was not able to play due to injury. So he's coming back this weekend. It'll help. And I think we'll shuffle the lineup a little bit to get some guys that maybe haven't played quite as much lately into the lineup to give us a little bit more jump. So those are, a little bit more time off, getting some guys in off the injury list, and then inserting some guys that have been coaches scratches, but that I think can provide some energy for the team. Hopefully that can all come together and it'll help give us a shot of energy.
Is there any anticipation of giving Noah Giesbrecht maybe a night off and putting Logan Stein in goal? He's been consistently picking up those starts throughout the past couple weekends.
Well, it's a good question. No, Friday night, I'm set with Noah, and then we never really choose what we're going to do on Saturday till after Friday's game. A lot of times we wait on the results, we sleep on it, we get up in the morning, and before we have the team meeting, we meet as a staff and go through it. But we haven't really plotted out like the next 4 games. I just know that the Friday night Noah will start in that.
So this season, with a lot of you guys' wins, you're almost the cardiac kids with how you have you lead the conference in shootout victories with 3, I think another overtime win, and then last week with another last-second shot to win. Kind of talk about how the team keeps their composure in those dramatic moments.
Well, yeah, they've come a long way from a year ago where we couldn't close a game out. If you remember, in the first half of the year, we had Michigan State down 2 goals late in the game. I think inside 5 minutes we lost in regulation. We didn't understand how to close games out. We had been in that position very often, but now we've put ourselves in that position quite a bit. We've grown a lot. We've got good leadership. We don't seem to panic at all given in those time periods. My more of a concern is it seems like in a couple games throughout the year, Bowling Green comes to mind, one of the home games, as well as last Saturday against Bemidji, where it's like we run out of steam sometimes on that Saturday and we let the score get away from us. If it's a close game, we feel very comfortable in it, but once we fall behind by a couple, I haven't seen the pushback that I'd like to see out of our team. I mean, there's going to be times when you fall behind, and you may be playing okay. You just got to stay on task. Even on Saturday night when we went to the third, we got that goal pretty early in the third to go to 5-2. And back in my mind, I'm like, hey, we can come back here. But I didn't see the push after even the second goal. And like I say, it's in some respects it's understandable given all the close games you just referenced.
Thanks for your time, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Great.